What's up YouTube? It's your boy Josh Reese back at it again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about my interview experience with Midwestern University in Arizona. But first, go ahead and like and subscribe. Smashing that like button and just normally pressing that subscribe button. So, first thing is the Arizona College of Optometry is located at Midwestern University, right in Glendale, Arizona. It's the only optometry school in Arizona and actually just one of the few in the West. If you're looking to go somewhere outside of California but still in the West, your options are really limited to just a few schools. But it's really good. Glendale is about maybe 45 minutes from Phoenix to the northwest. So, you know, it's pretty close to Phoenix. It's got all the big city stuff you want to do. But this is my experience interviewing and eventually getting into Midwestern University. So, first, they were actually, when I put in my application, they were a school that did something really cool. So I had my whole application finished before I took the OAT, optometry admissions test, and they actually called me in for an interview before I had even taken the OAT. Now this was really cool because I knew that beyond my OAT score, they had the confidence in me that I could be a good applicant even if that score might not have been great. They knew they still would like to consider me. So that was actually really cool to be able to hear back from them before other schools. So the next really thing I got was an email. And in this email, you know, it was a Zoom link. Well, I think we signed up for times that we'd work for us, and then it had an itinerary and a Zoom link. So it was really, really cool because they tried to make it exactly as much as they could an interview experience. Like you're going to the school and meeting the faculty, having a tour, things like that. It was really creative the way that they tried to do it, and I thought it was great from a student perspective as well. So the day of, I tried to dress up, you know, got my suit and tie on, and I show up, and the first thing was the interviews. So we all logged on, I think at about 8 a.m., and it was just maybe me and 5 other students with the head of admissions, and she kind of gave us a lowdown of what the day was going to look like for about 5 minutes, asked if we had any questions, and then told us to log back on at our interview time. So other people interviewed first, and then I came back maybe about an hour later and got ready for my interview. So what the interview was is it was me and 2 other faculty members. So after I logged on, I got put into a breakout room with 2 faculty members, both of which were really, really nice, and it was really fun experience. It wasn't quite like the interviews I was expecting, where they just, you know, kind of grill you, ask about everything, optometry. It was open application, I believe, which was kind of nice because I put a lot of thought and hard work into my application. So they just asked me about me a lot of the time. You know, there were the few questions like, tell me about yourself, why did you choose optometry, you know, anything that you could have really just, you know, Googled top optometry school interview questions, and they asked me those. The next thing really was them giving me time to ask questions, and now I think this part was really important to them because they wanted to know if you were considering the school enough, that you had done any research, and that you wanted to know a little bit more. So it was really cool because I was able to ask them some of the questions I had been wondering. Looking at their website, we talked about scores, we talked about curriculum. I had questions about a lot of their equipment that they had, and then I was able to ask a lot of good personal questions, like why these professors chose to become faculty members at Midwestern University above other schools. I asked them what they think stands out about Midwestern, and it was really, really cool because I felt like I left that meeting really on the same page and almost friends with these faculty members. I know that because Midwestern is the school that I am attending, I chose to go to it. I know I'm actually really looking forward to reconnecting with them and being their friends. So they were really friendly, great quality professors. And I think that, if you ask questions and know enough about the school to ask great questions, like I knew about the Karen system that they had, the rehabilitation tool with a lot of virtual reality, and I knew about one of the famous faculty members, an ophthalmologist that worked at their clinic. I asked about him and what it's like to work with him. Things like that'll set you apart and really have them know that you're serious about Midwestern. The next part after the interviews was a faculty coffee hour, I think they called it. So it was like another interview. So it was great, you got more, if you wanted more interview time, more time to stand out from the crowd. It gave you exactly that opportunity. It was all the faculty members that were interviewing us were just on a panel where all of the 5 students and I could just ask any questions we still had. And it was great. There are the occasional obnoxious students that kind of took over, and it was kind of a little frustrating in that regard. But I was able to ask some good questions and be able to, actually, one professor had a corgi just like I do. Hi, Kiwi. And it was fun. We just kind of talked about it, and it was able to talk a little bit more about the school. So that was actually one of my favorite parts because you don't usually get to connect and see professors as real people, and just kind of a stress-free environment, and also a little bit more time for them to see how you act in a group setting. Kind of thought of it as if they're doing another group interview but not telling you. So make sure you're not just quiet and kind of can show that you can stand out in a crowd as well. So the next part was a student panel, or I think maybe we had like a break for lunch. And then the next one was a student panel. So they had their student representatives come out. There's probably, I'd say, about 6 of them. And then we got to ask them questions about student life and about the student experience. And honestly, that was really cool because, you did still have the group setting, the few students or a few applicants kind of taking over and asking all the dumb questions, but that's okay. It was really fun to ask about housing, ask about extracurriculars, ask about the curriculum from their side if they think it's hard, and other things like that. Now that was really really cool, and one of the main reasons I ended up wanting to go there a little bit more is because of the great student experience I felt you could have. Now the next part, and I think the last part, was the dean's presentation. So the dean of the school, which was really cool to meet them and actually interact with them, because I'd never really heard of optometry students getting to know their dean on a name-to-name basis, but she presented and gave a little tour of the school virtually, of course, and answered some questions. We had a Q&A with them, and it was really cool to be able to speak to the person who's in charge of everything and be able to kind of see their thought process and why they make their school a certain way, and the kind of vision that they have for the school and for the students, and to see that you matter to them. That was really cool. So if you have an opportunity to apply to Midwestern University, I honestly tell you the application process is great. Interviewing with them was a pleasure, And honestly, getting to know that whole school is wonderful. You know, they're a tad more expensive than other schools, but the quality that they put into it was worth it for me. So I encourage you, you know, as applying to schools, good luck. You can do this. And after my interview, I did have about 2 weeks before I took the OAT. And then after I took the OAT and my exam scores were sent to them, then I heard back immediately. So it was really cool to be able to know that they looked at me that hard as an applicant. So good luck on applying to optometry schools, and hopefully we'll see you at Midwestern in the future. Thanks. Bye.